All right, everybody. It's been a while, but I'm more or less back. Just want you to know that whatever platform... Hold on, let me turn on this music just a little bit so you can hear me better. Because people do want a complication, but do they want their music to be that loud all the time? There we go. Great. Much better. All right. So I just want to say that if you're watching on any platform, then if you're watching on any platform, then you can contact me directly in the comments, and I can respond to you directly. I will answer questions of any kind, just letting you know that. And I am answering the question that someone asked me, which is, what are you even doing? What am I even doing with my time? Because I work every day. I don't work for anyone but myself. So what am I doing? I'm going to answer that question as thoroughly as I can without giving away industry secrets. By industry secrets, I mean that if I'm working with or for someone, I'm not going to talk about their particular project and give you like details about their project, which is bad business. Before I do that, though, let me just tell you about my favorite thing that I posted on the internet recently, which is really stupid to talk about, but every once in a while I'll do something that I'm really proud of. So I'm going to show you something that I'm really proud of that I posted on the internet. Here it is. So basically, here we go. So basically, I posted that I would teach somebody the secret to happiness for $1, and then someone sent me $1, as you can see, and then I said the secret to happiness is fleecing people for $1, and then bragging about it. So yeah, nice, good win, internet. This is my Instagram. You can see here's also something else that I'm proud of. I'm dungeon mastering a D&D game. And can you guys hear me good? I think so. I feel like something's up with this, but it sounds all right to me. Okay, so I am dungeon mastering a game, and then I am also playing around with this animation software called Loom. So I made this like just a moment from the dungeon master from the D&D game that happened this week, where tentacles came out of a black void because the players foiled someone's incantation, and then everything went awry. So I made this little animation to honor my players in my D&D game. Yep, that's the kind of nerd that I am, guys. D&D nerd. All right, so let me talk to you about what I'm doing. It's actually not that complicated. So what I am doing right now is I am growing my own production company. As you might know, I make my own productions. I made the Awkward Comedy Show for Comedy Central. I made Realm of LARP for Nerdist. And now I am continuing to make things, and I'm trying to grow them. But at the time when I was really trying to get everything started was when the pandemic hit. So right now I'm in the middle of creating productions that can work during the pandemic and quarantine, and also just trying to get other productions going and convert other productions to work during the pandemic. Because unlike a large studio, which has the ability, obviously, and resources to kind of like sit and figure things out, or have a whole studio that they quarantine and then can shoot in, I don't have those exact resources. So I have to figure out different ways to keep my productions going. One of the things I'm doing right now is finishing a book proposal. In fact, it looks like I might be in 2 books coming up. One is an anthology cartoon book, and the other is a book of essays that I myself am writing. If you haven't ever read any of my essays, please do. You can search for one. Just search for, I guess, my name and then Vice, because I wrote an essay on Vice. Let me see if it comes up. Hold on a second. I got to tell you how to search for it. Victor Varnado Vice. Boop, boop, doop, doop, doop. Okay, so if I do that, what happens is it comes up to articles written by me on Vice, and then this is the main one, What Growing Up as a Black Albino Taught Me. You can see one of my essays. This is included in the package that I'm using actually for my book proposal. By the way, I wouldn't be doing a book proposal if I hadn't taken a class from Susan Shapiro, who teaches writing. So she's awesome. If you know Susan Shapiro, check her out. She's awesome. Let's get some of these questions out of the way. Do you have albinism? Yes, I do, Neocon Atheist 49. What a scary profile picture you have. And then yeah, that's a yes. Obviously, you saw the article that I wrote for Vice. So yes, I do have albinism, and as we all know, with albinism comes magical powers. So be careful, because I could do anything. I could do anything. That's your face. Are you a professional clown, or are you a person who just likes to put on makeup? Or you're just like a murderer? You're a murder clown? Anyway, so I guess working on productions and then working on my book proposal are one of the things I do. Also, some of you know that I also make cartoons for The New Yorker. I've had a couple on the New Yorker site recently. One of them actually went viral, which is actually kind of scary, because I had never had a cartoon go viral before. And when the cartoon went viral, what that meant is millions of people saw it, for one. And then number two, people kept taking the cartoon and then reposting it with like their personal manifestos of like what their beliefs were behind the cartoon. In fact, one guy actually did an examination of the cartoon. Like, he did a whole video where he talked through what he thought my cartoon meant and went down like point by point. In fact, I should probably do a video where I just react to that one, because it was really interesting to see somebody kind of like picking apart your art and then putting a video out there online about it. That's actually kind of crazy. At least for me, that's the first time it happened. I have friends who've had more viral work go out, but for me, that was the first time. So it was like a very strange feeling. and there was good to it too. It also felt good to have so many people relying or thinking about this cartoon that I made. It was shared by Viola Davis. If you don't know her, she's a very big actress, much bigger than I am, because I am not a very big actress at all. Get it? Because I'm an actor. You're welcome, everybody. But for me, I saw that, or if I stayed up. But I'm going to show you the actual cartoon that went viral so you can just see what it was. So this was the cartoon that went viral. And then, like I said, people kept reposting the cartoon like with their own like manifestos or agendas around it and saying, this is what this cartoon means. And then there were a couple of people who were arguing about the cartoon, which was ridiculous, because I feel like the message is pretty straightforward, but unfortunately you can't control what happens on the internet. I saw a really funny meme posted which said, people will argue about anything on the internet. As an example, here's a picture of a stick. And so they put a picture of a stick up to let people argue. I didn't actually check all the comments to see if people argued about it, but it was just a funny idea, the idea that people would argue on the internet. I have one more thing to talk about, and before I talk about that, I'm just going to talk about my daily routine. But before I talk about my daily routine, if you want to ask a question, just ask away in the comments on whatever you are watching on, whatever like social media platform you're watching on, then I should be able to see it. All right, so I'm just going to tell you my daily routine, which isn't that impressive, but it is what it is. So usually I get up around 6:30 or 7, and then at 6:30 or 7 I will draw a cartoon. Often in the morning I also like meditate for 10 or 15 minutes before I draw a cartoon because I think it makes them funnier. Hopefully that is true. Maybe it's not. Maybe my cartoons would be funnier if I didn't meditate in the morning. Then after I meditate in the morning and then draw the cartoon in the morning, I usually take care of the cats, and often I take care of the dishes from the night before. It's my job to do the dishes because my wife does most of the cooking, and so she just said she does all the cooking. But every once in a while, I'll microwave a burrito. It happens. Anyway, so then I do the dishes, and I will make sure my exercises, which is usually push-ups. I run also, but I run less frequently, where I have a home elliptical system that I put in front of the TV, and I run in front of the TV. But I just haven't been running a lot lately. It's been really weird because the way the world is right now is kind of depressing, and I'm not usually a person who gets depressed, but I am a person who I feel like I have a lot of empathy for what's going on in the world, and it just upsets me that so many people are upset all over the place. Like it upsets me that people are angry and sad. I mean, I'm happy that the world is changing for the better is what I think is happening, but it does upset me, and I do feel saddened when the world itself is sad, which is probably why I started doing a lot more social commentary cartoons. In fact, the one I did today, I feel like kind of sums up a lot of my feelings, even though this isn't me in particular. I mean, I know this is happening out there. I feel like people are going through this, and in fact, someone I know actually said that they for sure went through this. And this is just like, it's just like a mother who's baking a cake, so obviously she doesn't usually have to bake, and the cake is deflated, and the daughter's like, "It's okay. You told me that quarantine could mean sacrifices." Yeah, and I feel like everybody's going through something like this in one form or another. This woman actually said, "Thank you for this," and then put a little crying face. I feel. I mean, people take what they want from, like, when I create this, like, I was like, okay, it's funny, but it's also sad. But then I think it struck a chord with a lot of people. I had a friend of mine who's a mother who just said that she had literally had baked 2 cakes that didn't turn out well for her kids already. But that's quarantine for you, huh, guys? Well, I'm going to go because I feel like today is the day Skynet's going to take over anyway. So we'll be, pretty soon we'll just be fighting against the machines. So I hope everybody else has a great apocalypse, and I'll see y'all later. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye. And I'm going to find the off button, and there it is.